At the end of the day, this is your career. This is how you want to make a living. This is how you want to keep a roof over your head and yourself alive. Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Rhythm Revelations, where we do the work to find the little gems from expert dance choreographers, artists, dancers, performers, and bring them straight to you. Today's theme mainly focuses on advice and guidance and tips for dancers who are feeling alone in your journey. So if you're feeling alone on this crazy journey of yours, keep watching. Today's choreographers that we're going to be watching are JaQuel Knight, Chloe and Maud Arnold, and Tricia Miranda. If you don't know them, once you're done with this video, look them up. JaQuel Knight has choreographed for Beyonce's Single Ladies, her Formation tour, and currently The Wiz on Broadway. Chloe and Maud Arnold are mostly known for their Syncopated Ladies tap group, as well as their choreography for The Late Late Show with James Corden, as well as Spirited, the new movie. Tricia Miranda has choreographed for many artists such as Beyonce, Nicki Minaj, Ice Spice, Missy Elliott, and many more. Our first choreographer is JaQuel Knight with the importance of keeping supportive people in your life and on your dance journey. Watch this clip.
I think for me, growing up in dance, I was loved on, whether it was my group of friends, whether it's choreographers I looked up to who I then met, they loved on me. Everyone's like, well, kill it, keep it up, keep putting your heart into it. Yeah. Don't ever give up, you can do it. One day you'll be right. I'll say, oh, I look up to you and I love you so much. And they'll say, no, you'll be better than me. One day you're gonna be on stage and you're gonna be right beside me and you can do it. And you're gonna go and you're gonna take over. And these are the things how I was spoken to,
right.
And these are your best in the world, your Jamal Sims and your Rhapsody James and your Chuck Maldonados and your Dave Scotts and your Shane Sparks and your Nappy Tabs. You know what I'm saying? These were the people that I traveled to work with, and they just loved on me. Yeah. And it was like, wow.
So I think JaQuel touches on something that's super important but not really talked about much in the dance world. Personally, I feel like a lot of dancers definitely try to do everything on their own. A lot of people who are creatives or artists or even business owners who are trying to start out try to do everything on their own, and that's just not the case. Especially in an industry that can really beat down on your confidence and your self-worth. Sometimes you just gotta tell yourself that 1, you don't always have all the answers, and 2, a little help is okay. Even a lot of help is okay. Most of the dancers that you see who are successful and are booking those jobs have a group of supportive people around them, or have mentors and educators that support them and help them through the process. And I know some of you guys might have different reasons for wanting to try to do everything on their own. For some people, it may just be proving themselves right or proving someone else wrong. For some people, it may be they're shy. Personally, that's my issue, is that I'm not really a talkative person. I'm more of an introvert, so it's hard for me to open myself up to people and ask for help. Third, you guys might not know who do I ask for help, or how do I ask for help? That's in a respectful way, and it doesn't just look like I'm trying to get booked or something super quickly. So I think 1, having supportive people around you is super important, but how do you do that? That's where being a little more open and vulnerable with people definitely come into play. If you've taken a choreographer's class a bunch of times, don't be afraid to email them or hit them up if you're going through a difficult situation, and just be like, hey, what would you do? Or I'm really in need for your help. And then the flip side of this tip from JaQuel Knight that he doesn't really talk about outright, but it immediately came up in my mind and probably in yours when you were watching it, is that anybody who is not supportive, they get cut. This journey of yours and this career of yours and this industry that you're in is too crazy and too difficult to have other negative outside forces dimming your light and dimming your drive and dimming your determination to win this thing. The only people that you should be surrounding yourself with is people who love you, people who support you, people who respect you, people who respect your career choice and don't just see it as, a little hobby or something. To have those people making it even harder for you to stick through this, because it's your dream and it's your goal and it's your love. So why would you ever let anybody else take that away from you? You got to start putting yourself first, and that comes with having a supportive group of people around you. Our next choreographers are Chloe and Maud Arnold with the importance of mentorship. Watch this clip.
In DC, we're from DC, and she used to do a residency at
Yes.
Well, we saw Miss Allen's photo on your amazing wall.
Yes. Love her.
Yes. So
She does some amazing work. Yeah.
Oh, she's incredible.
Yeah,
She
yeah.
is a living legend. So we met her in DC. We're from DC, and she used to do a residency at the Kennedy Center, and she had an open audition for kids to come, and we were one of like 2 of 1,500 kids from DC, you know, like vying to a Debbie Allen. First year we got cut, but you know we didn't give up.
No.
Way back the next year.
You know what? That'll make you better.
It will.
I didn't make every audition.
Exactly.
Yeah, you
You
get
don't
turned away,
wanna.
and then you go, no, wait, I am good.
Yeah,
and
I'm
you come
gonna
back.
train.
Yeah.
So you get a whole year. We were like, we're gonna make Debbie Allen's audition, and we made it. And that was in.
I mean, that was when I was 16 years old, I was 10, and it was life-changing because Debbie Allen, she's not just like, you know, she's a Renaissance woman, but she's also a mentor, a mother, an auntie, and she took us under her wing, and we really became her mentees and children. And honestly, when we couldn't afford to come out to LA to, you know, pursue this dream, she actually opened her home to us, and we lived with her and trained at the Debbie Allen Dance Academy, and it was life-changing.
Wow.
And honestly, she's been with us our whole lives, guiding, challenging, uplifting, training, and that's also why we're so dedicated to the craft, because we learned from a master of the...
So this tip kind of goes along with what JaQuel Knight was saying as well, but specifically this pertains to mentorship. So this is very different from just surrounding yourself with a supportive group of friends and family and loved ones. This is specifically having someone who's been through the industry from start to finish, having them there to kind of guide you along and to really help you just figure out what you're supposed to do, and to have kind of like a really solid, educated, professional rock there to go to when you need it. And the process of finding this is kind of the same as finding the support. So the way you want to go about it is that, one, it should be already a natural relationship that you have, okay, which takes time. So start taking teachers that you like and teachers that you feel are really offering value to you. Start taking them a lot more. Start trying to get involved more in the community with the dancers naturally. Start offering more value to people. The way you're going to get someone to offer value to you is by offering value to them. You saw it wasn't like a quick fix with Chloe and Maud. They got cut from the audition once. They took a whole year, 365 days of waiting and training. Then they finally went back next year, got into the audition, and then they went through Miss Debbie Allen's whole institute. They didn't just take one class with her and then like try to DM her on Instagram, even though Instagram wasn't a thing. But you know what I mean. It happened naturally, because they offered value. They took their time, their free time, to train and get better and to audition, and to train and get better and audition a second time. And this doesn't mean that if you don't have a mentor, like your dance journey is over. But again, it'll happen over time. Just keep being you and keep being authentic and keep putting in the work. That's it. If you try to overcompensate or overstep a boundary, sometimes it might backfire. So just be careful with it. If you want one day, you will get one day, but it's not gonna make or break your career right now if you don't have an official mentor. And last but not least, we have Tricia Miranda with the tip of, in order to get people to want to invest in you, you have to be willing to put yourself out there. Watch this clip.
This is something that you really want to do, you know, be in the industry and work for these choreographers. You have to be aggressive, you know, not desperate, but aggressive enough to where, you know, you look like you're ready to work and you really want this. And, you know, if dancers are hiding in the back and don't really look like they want it, it's hard for us to kind of attach, you know, to you and want to, you know, mold you and mentor you when you're hiding. You need to show us that this is what you want, and, you know, so.
This is a common theme that I've been coming upon in my dance journey lately, and I've been seeing in other people's dance journeys as well. I feel like as a dancer sometimes, and I know you're gonna relate to this, it can be hard trying to balance one extreme with the other extreme. So for example, people say to put ourselves out there, right? So go to the front in class. If they ask for a volunteer group, go in the volunteer group. In the audition, make sure you're in the front or by the producer's tables so they see you. But then in the other breath, they're saying, you know, don't be desperate. Don't stay in the front the whole time. When you're switching lines, obviously switch lines, be respectful to other people's spaces. But I think the biggest tip that I've learned is that you can be respectful to other people and still fight for yourself and fight for your spot that you rightfully deserve. At the end of the day, this is your career. This is how you want to make a living. This is how you want to keep a roof over your head and yourself alive. Not to sound daunting, but that's pretty serious. And I don't think anything is worth keeping yourself alive. You being afraid that you're looking like you're too much or that you're too much of a tryhard. How does that weigh with keeping a roof over your head? It doesn't. It doesn't matter. If you know you're being respectful and you know you're being genuine and you're not trying to fight anybody or disrespect anybody's space in a class or an audition, that's all you need to know. Whatever anybody else may think of you and the motive behind your decisions in class or rehearsal or an audition is none of your business. All you have to be worried about is what you think about yourself. And if this is what you really want to do for a living, you have to start putting yourself out there more. And not even in class. I've been saying in class and auditions, but even nowadays online, on Instagram, on TikTok, on YouTube, start taking your online presence just as and even more serious than your in-person physical presence. Because most stuff is booked online nowadays, or at least partly online. And your IG is a really, really, really big part of that, like a big part. So if you have no dance videos, unfortunately, that's just, it sounds really weird to be saying that. Like you're like, oh, I'm a dancer. Why do I have to show it off online to prove it to people? It's not about proving it to people. Again, it's about just playing the game. That's how the game has evolved in the last couple of years with social media. So you can either learn how to play it and start putting yourself out there, or don't learn how to play it and then not have anybody want to invest in you. You're a dancer. If you danced on a set by yourself, you'd have the whole crew watching you. If you danced on a big stage, you have thousands of people watching you. You have to get used to liking being in the spotlight. You don't have to automatically link liking being in the spotlight with being self-centered. It just means that you know you're a star, you know you're talented, you know you're hardworking, and why not show it off? Because the only way you're going to get opportunities is if you show it off to people. People aren't going to know about you if you don't show them you. And I think that's what Tricia Miranda is saying. You just got to have the mindset of people aren't going to know about you unless you take the initiative. And it's the hardest thing because it's all self-starting. You got to do it yourself. If you take the initiative to put yourself out there. That is it for today. As always, we like to keep it short because I know how busy you guys probably are with your side hustles and your dance career or performance career. Remember, this is not just for dancers. It's for any artist, creative, dancer, performer, comedian, singer, freelancer. It's for anybody who entertains and puts themselves out there on a daily basis. I hope this inspired you and reminded you that you are not alone on this journey. This is why I've started this new series of mine, because this industry and this career choice can get pretty lonely at times and can be a struggle of, I have nobody around me, I have nobody to go to. Well, at least you have here to come to, and you can meet me every single week. You can meet me next week for our next episode of Rhythm Revelations with 3 new choreographers and dance experts. I can't wait to share with you guys.